You're welcome.
Voila.
FYP Production.
She fell in love with the bad guy, but she loves my intentions. Nothing feels better than the moment we're sinning, no. Nothing feels better than the moment we're kissing. I'll say I'll love her for forever, in the morning forget her. She was raised under money, growing up she couldn't see the poor. Save my number in her phone under me or more. Look me in my eyes and ask what I need her for. So in this game of life she just might keep a score. The darkness is clouding my judgment. Marijuana clouds cause the loud is so pungent. But me, I haven't touched a drug since that Trader White. I live my life before the fight like I'm Dana White. The block is hot like that boy band with Nick Lachey. Hold my heart in your hands like a Fabergé. Precious. We was young, dumb, and reckless. Living like the devil couldn't catch us.
Yo, what up? What's poppin'? We back with another episode of the YSO podcast. Now, if you're tuned in regularly, you might notice that one of our very own is not here. Our normal host and other co-host Emmanuel had other obligations tonight, so we're gonna hold it down for him.
Yeah.
Also, if you have been tuning in, you know that every week I come with a different character. This week, Luke, I am your father. So, if our other co-hosts want to introduce themselves.
You are the ugliest person I know.
I don't really know that got you beat. Yeah, you know what it is, man. This real here.
Oh man,
live and direct.
Oh, that is funny.
It's not that funny. Anyways, hi everybody, it's Ashton again.
Oh,
hey, that's it, Ashton.
That's it. It's a Thursday. It's another regular day.
Hey, happy Thankful Thursday, everybody. It is your CEO and visionary, Amber Lyons. Welcome back into our space where we are here to delve into some interesting topic tonight. Mm-hmm. So we just ask for you to like, invite, and share the broadcast. As always, we ask you to engage with our You Speak Out podcast team, and we want to thank you for being here tonight. And I want to just really give a thank you to the You Speak Out podcast team, because this team, and I'm sorry Emmanuel is not here, St. Eve is not here to hear this tonight. As Christian said, he has other obligations, but this team has been going strong throughout the pandemic. We have been committed to this platform every other Thursday. We have been doing this. We've been holding it down. We've been bringing y'all the real, the raw, and the uncut of whatever our topic is. No topic is too big or too small for us to touch. And I want y'all help me put some hand claps in the comments, please, and help me salute these young people. And this goes out to St. Even as well. He's not here. Christian, Andrew Buckmeyer, a.k.a. Christopher Knox, Ashton Gates. I salute you, young people, and I'm so happy to be able to come into this space with y'all every other Thursday. Thank you for your commitment. We've been back in the studio, and sometimes for different reasons, we have to go back, to this platform virtually, but it's all virtual because we still bring it to you live, even in the studio. We wanted to keep that feel and that connection with the audience that we had developed. So we're just happy. I'm just proud. I really am, because a lot has happened during this time. A lot of people have started stuff. They've let it go. They have this platform has been a commitment that these young people have held down, and I'm proud of them. And I'm just looking forward for bigger and better opportunities and things for them. So big ups to YSO. Big ups, man. I'm serious.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
It's really lit. So we're just gonna delve right into it. I don't know if you guys have seen the promo, but this week we're talking about the upcoming election. And to kick us off, our first question on the agenda, is, do you believe that our generation, those of us who are old enough to vote, are taking this election seriously? And the reason I ask this question is because I know a lot of times when things happen in the world with our generation, it becomes a meme and we'll kind of take it as a joke or we don't take it as seriously. So I just wanted to ask you guys to see if, in your opinion, do you think that we're taking this election seriously? Why or why not? And would you agree that some people say that this will be the biggest election of our lives? Do you agree with that?
As far as why I think we're taking the election seriously, I wouldn't say that people aren't, because people are standing hours and hours in line to vote, and they're really trying to take advantage of the opportunity. And I would say that as a whole, people joke a lot on the internet, but I think the majority of us aren't, that ignorant. I know a lot of them are, but as far as I'm concerned, at least these are the people that I know, they don't really seem to be taking this election lightly. I do think that this is the biggest election of our lives for one reason and one reason only. We, all of us here, are believers, and we all read the end of the book, and it just certain things are just coinciding, and just if you look at the times, this is significant in some way. I don't know what way, but we're gonna figure it out soon enough, I guess. But I think people are taking it pretty seriously for the most part.
I agree. I haven't really seen anybody, at least in my circle, even just like on social media and stuff, anybody that's not taking it seriously. Like even the people that I thought were going to be making jokes about this whole situation are kind of still like advocating in their own ways and inserting their own opinions about what they think is going to happen and what they think should happen. I think it's the biggest election of our lives. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because like of Corona and because we've had like all this time to kind of sit and really just focus on like what the government is doing or not doing for us. So it just seems really, at least for me, I know that there's a lot of anticipation, and there has been a lot of anticipation like leading up to this. We're only like 3 weeks out beforehand. And I think all of this like tension and sitting in the house and everything is just building up. And I think that's why there's so many people that are already voting now.
Yes. Yeah. Quick sidebar: Seagrams or Canada Dry?
Canada Dry.
Canada Dry?
I like Seagrams.
I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry.
There's a right answer?
No, there is no right answer. I like both personally, but okay. I don't know why I thought about that. Anyway,
whatever.
I think it's because I had both today from a vending machine at work. I didn't realize we had both Canada Dry and Seagrams. But anyway.
Did you taste the difference?
Huh?
Did you taste the difference?
I did not. I did not taste the difference. Not enough to form an opinion either way. But anyway, to answer the question, I do believe that we are taking this this election seriously. I think it's because of the magnitude of what's at stake. I don't know what's at stake, to be honest, but I just know
it feels like something's at stake.
It feels
right.
Like something is
it
at
feels
stake.
like whether it goes one way or another, it's just going to be like,
either horrible or like really horrible.
Right, but
Yeah,
then,
literally.
but then, like on the flip side, I remember a couple months ago, people was trying to cancel Kamala because she has like the biggest prosecution rate for people
Sure does.
for drugs in was it California or something like that?
I think it was
And now,
I don't know. All I know is she locked a lot of black men up.
yeah, exactly. And then when Joe announced her as his vice president running mate, everybody was like, "Yeah, go sis." But you know,
I'm happy about it.
I just feel like our generation, where the cancel culture is so microwave, where 1 minute we'll be like, "Yeah, that person's canceled," but the next minute we'll be like, "Well, like the
internet has a 3-day memory."
Yeah, the 72-hour rule. Have you ever seen that Drake video? when he was like his mom told him if you give it 72 hours and somebody else will have done something to where they won't be talking about you anymore. I feel like that's how cancel culture is. But back to the question, I do believe it. Hey, mom, I do believe this is the biggest election of our lives, just because of it. Just feels like it's like the anticipation is insurmountable.
Yeah,
is.
I can feel it in my bones.
I'm going to skip question 2 and I'm going to go to question 3. What are your biggest apprehensions about this upcoming election, if you have any, and why?
Lord Jesus.
Everything.
Well, Auntie, did you want to answer the first question?
Sure. Repeat it for me again.
Do you believe that our generation, and this can go for your generation or our generation, for those of us who are old enough to vote, do you think they're taking this election seriously? Why or why not? And would you agree that this is the biggest election of our lives?
I think it's one of the biggest. I think when Obama was voted president, that was huge. I mean, you had generations going to the polls together, and people just in the streets rejoicing when he won the presidency. So I think it's one of the biggest. I think because of on the heels of everything that has happened with the pandemic and how horribly the current president and his administration has handled it, a lot of people, even some who put him in office, want him out. His cavalier attitude, his racist stance. I mean, all of the ways, the way he has not taken care of this country with economically when it's come to, sustaining the people. We still waiting on another stimulus package.
Well, he said we ain't getting it unless he get elected, so we might not.
Well, then when he found out how horribly it was going to affect his election, his campaign, he decided to now he's going to give one. But then Nancy Pelosi is like, well, that's not enough. Now you want to do it, but that's not enough. But in any event, yes, I do believe that it is one of the biggest elections. And I do believe that people in your generation and in my generation, people who never thought it was important to vote before, I do believe, with all of the racial tension and the racial supremacy, white supremacy, the police brutality, and all of these things that have happened, I do believe that people are they're ready. People are already out there voting early. Emmanuel and I are going next Friday together. Not this Friday, but next Friday to do early voting. We're committing because I'm off. We're going to commit the entire day if we have to stand online.
That's another thing. Since you brought that up,
I have fun with that.
That's
no. We're gonna do it because I want to make sure I'm not trying to do no paper ballot this time.
Why is it that in our communities it takes a much longer time to vote as opposed to the communities of the Caucasians?
Do you even have to ask? We already know.
Somebody told me that they went somewhere and voted in like 30 minutes. It was like they were in and out. I can't remember where it was. It was a facility though. It was like either
it was a white
somewhere like
area,
or like the Phillips Arena or something like that. It was in Atlanta. I don't know exactly where, but
yeah,
it was
somebody said State Farm.
Yeah,
State Farm.
I think that one. It might have been that.
Yeah, State Farm. I saw that online. That State Farm has you in and out in like less than 30 minutes.
So why do you think they tried to suppress the black vote then?
Ain't no telling. Why do you think they try to suppress black people from the beginning? For whatever reason, I don't know. Some sick, twisted idea.
I feel like, I don't know. It's kind of confusing because technically black people are not a huge percentage of the population of America. We're actually a very small percentage. But I really think it's because black people are most often the swing vote, kind of. Like if 50,000 more of us had voted, then this person would have won. So I think that they realized that even though it's a small number in comparison to all the other races, it still can make a big difference. So I think that they just don't want us to vote. And
vote suppression. You get there and they want to tie you out. They don't want you to actually wait on those long lines. And then you have families that's out there giving people bottles of water, that's giving people snacks and stuff like that because they don't want people to leave those lines. They want people, so you might have to pack your little lunch or pack your little snack or something when you go to bring you some water to make sure just that you're ready, that nothing is going to stop you. And there's all kind of tricks and stuff that they have that they do. They have a lot of the machines are not working properly. Then you don't have the proper amount of voter poll workers. Those are all ways that's considered voter suppression.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So
we have a comment there, so I know you see it.
It's not in
our community. Well, I know that, but majority in the black communities, it takes a longer time than it would in primarily white communities. Like we don't see Caucasians standing in line for 12 hours to vote. Like they get in and they get out. Somebody got a phone call, but I'm concerned about those who are planning to vote for Kanye. That in essence is a vote for the incumbent. I'm going to vote for president. Yeah, that I've seen. I saw a video where I want to say it was in Kentucky. He was leading in votes, and I'm not understanding why people are voting for Kanye. But I mean,
that's a joke.
Don't vote for Kanye. I mean, that's really all I can say about that. But anyway, what are your biggest apprehensions about this upcoming election and why?
I don't really have any.
For me, it's really, I think the only thing is that everybody who's voting is really kind of, unless you just really truly support one or the other, you're kind of just choosing the lesser of two evils. Yeah. Because as far as like the Democratic Party with Joe Biden, we just got the best of the worst. Because I don't even like him like that for real. Like he's not that great. He trips up on his words. He said like some low-key racist stuff, and he kind of just has gotten away with it. I think that's the only thing that actually worries me. And then along with him having Kamala as his running mate, like he didn't even pick a better person than him to be the vice president. If he was going to pick if he was going to pick a black woman, I wish he would have picked like Stacey Abrams or somebody like that, but not Kamala, because she doesn't like black people like that either. And a lot of stuff, and she didn't even like Joe Biden when she was actually running for president. She talked so much smack about him. They all did, and then all of a sudden, all these ex presidential candidates are endorsing him and saying that he should be the president. It doesn't make sense. I'm afraid that I have to pick him.
I just feel like that's like the political game, I guess you can say. Mm-hmm. Like they'll bash them until it's time to endorse them, and then when it's time to endorse them, they will do that just be. I think the people in politics do whatever it takes to get their agenda across. So for Kamala at the time, bashing Joe Biden, I was about to say Joe Budden. Bashing Joe Biden was the best thing to do for her political gain, but now, look, she's about this close to being a vice president. Will she be the first black woman?
Yeah,
black president?
Black and the first Asian. She's like black and Indian, I think. So I mean, I guess okay, great. It's a milestone, but that doesn't make it any better. She's never really fought for black people.
Yeah.
So I don't care if she's black. We could have picked somebody better.
If we're being honest, Barack didn't really fight for black people either.
True.
And he was black. He was the president.
It was just like a figurehead milestone. Like, great, we had a black president, but at the same time, what did he do? And what is Kamala gonna do?
Exactly. I feel like they just tell us a bunch of lies.
Life is fake. I'm convinced that this is not real anymore.
We're in a simulation.
Y'all see the comments?
It's definitely real, huh?
Y'all see the comments?
I don't trust none of them either. So because they don't care about us. Also, I miss you too. I meant to say that way earlier, but
but yeah, I feel like when even back in 2016 when Hillary was running, people were just voting for her because she was, the lesser of two evils. They really didn't want. And you know what's crazy to me? I like the one thing that Caucasian people don't like more than Black people is women in power, which is really, really like mind-boggling to me. Because when I saw the breakdown of like how people voted, white women voted for Trump more than they voted for what's the face Hillary. And you would think it would be flip-flop, like they would vote for Hillary because she's a woman and feminism and all that good stuff, but they was like, yeah, nah, you thought you were getting in the White House.
You, my friend, don't know which white women you are talking about. You are thinking of white women that live in Little Five Points. The women that voted for Donald Trump are the ones who live in the rest of Georgia. Like it's a very small to big ratio. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the first mistake. Of course, if you think about it, think about white women as like just in general, like the worst white women in history are like responsible for murders. Like if you think about it, that's not really good at all. That sucks. I hope there is no Caucasian women watching right now because if you are, your ancestors did that. That's what they did.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. And if you're not racist, then you will not be offended.
Exactly. And if hopefully you don't even know if that happened in your family. Matter of fact, you do know because it hasn't happened. So there you go. But Donald Trump, as of like right now, I have really no type of angst dealing with this election because I remember the day I saw Donald Trump was running for president in the first place. I was sitting down in my school's little cafeteria looking at the TV. I remember who was around me, and I was just like, he can mess around and win and become the president. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy. And 4 or 5 to 7 months later, watching it on TV. And so, I mean, at this point, it's just like, he's going to be the president again. If he hasn't been kicked out of office from all that he's done up until this point, he's going to be the president. So
don't say that.
I'm not
putting it in the atmosphere. I'm not. Look, I didn't make the plan. Somebody else made it. They just following it. Okay, I'm just
saying. We don't even want to put that in the atmosphere. Yup. No, God, Jesus, please.
How about this? How about we don't have a president? How about we just figure out how to just live
for a while?
Yeah, let's just figure out how to live amongst ourselves real quick. We need a really big huddle in the United States, and just be like, yo, forget what they talk
read
about.
Some of these comments.
We got this.
She said, "Bite your tongue."
Yeah, we don't need. No, I refuse. I'm scared, but I really feel like he's not gonna win. I don't know.
Because let me tell you what.
You feel like who? Biden?
No, Trump.
Not gonna win.
Trump. I don't think he's gonna be president again.
Personally, I feel the way I feel because of one reason. The last election, everybody voted for Hillary. Hillary literally won the popular vote by like 1 million.
True. It's the Electoral College.
The Electoral College was like, nah, not doing that. It's like, we want this guy. So, and
wait,
as of
who is in the? Are these people in the Electoral College? Like, how do you?
Yes, there are representatives of each state. Remember, it's by population, so you get a certain amount of Electoral College votes depending on your population. So Texas has a lot more than Maine would have, but it's like balanced in a way. I forgot it all, but it's like that. So basically, those votes. You can have a certain amount of people vote for, it could be split, right? And then you got this state that they have to win. Like, really, they're not appealing to us. The popular vote, all that is, who is popular amongst the people. We live in a democratic republic, and the republic part is the Electoral College. Mm-hmm. And that's who decides who sits in the chair and signs executive orders. Mm-hmm. He decides stuff. There are elections people don't think that people think the presidential election is the most important election, but really it's not. It's elections in between presidential elections, because those people eventually decide who this is, if that makes sense, to an extent. So like those types of nobody pays attention to that, because nobody knows when the senator of so and so doing so and so is running, because nobody that's not what we pay attention to, I guess. But
Right.
yeah, this part is the whole. I call it a magic show, because really, whatever they decide, they decide.
I mean, it's kind of like at the same time, though. Most of the time, the Electoral College is going to go along with the same vote,
because usually it's the better president.
Yeah.
So as long as I think this only happened one other time in history. I think that's why everybody was like, "What?
What was that? That was the Bush election."
Yeah. Which is weird, because I thought it would have been like way back when, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this was ancient history when that happened, but nah, this is like
not the
years
one
ago, which is strange, because I guess if you think about it, like the population is starting to think different. So like maybe at some point they're going to be like, we don't really care what y'all say. We want this person, and that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. He's losing votes from the older.
That commercial was kind of funny though.
Wait, what commercial did he do?
Well, she meant he's, but the Donald Trump commercial about Biden being a resident because he's elderly.
That was real. That wasn't a fake commercial.
I thought that was me.
People don't think that Biden gonna make it though.
That was kind of funny. Well, I didn't think Trump was gonna make it, to be honest with you, but
hey, okay.
But I mean, Mike Pence is not that
How
much
old are
better.
They got a combined 100-some years amongst themselves.
They ancient. They really ancient.
Absolutely. Donald Trump is what, 74?
So all I know is,
where did Mike Pence come from? I ain't never heard of Mike Pence until Donald elected him.
Probably a senator.
And
Yeah,
what?
Have you ever heard of Joe Biden until he was running?
Nah, I ain't heard of Joe either. I really ain't heard of Barack until he came onto the scene. I don't be hearing
Barack
none of
came
these
out of
people.
nowhere for me.
Actually, I heard of George because of his pops, but Bush.
George who?
George Bush.
Oh, well, I didn't know he had a pops, honestly.
Right,
I was
until
young.
afterwards.
Yeah, I was like, when I was of age to really know what a president was, he was already the president. So
Did
I'm
they
like,
teach y'all about the past presidents?
Nah, I
The
remember
George
on the wall, but I don't remember them. I just
George
remember seeing the
W.
faces. I don't even remember a song. They never taught me a song, nothing. I don't know.
You know,
nothing.
I got quizzed about the states and their capitals yesterday or the day before, and I actually did pretty good. I was proud of myself. I don't know. It was just like
What kind of quiz you got? It was
it was just like a random, like, hey, you think you can name all 50 states? And I was like,
oh, okay.
Let's see.
Heck no.
I can name 20 max.
I
Right.
missed like
There's a lot.
the off-brand states, like
Right, the ones that are just squares and rectangles.
Yes.
I missed them.
Don't know
What
what they
is
are.
it?
If I'm looking at it, I can't even tell you. I can tell you what stuff is like on the East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah, I went like East Coast, West Coast, and then like the middle states, and then I thought of sports teams.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I know what Illinois looks like. I know the shape of like Indiana. I know the shape of like Missouri. I can find those on the map. I don't know about Wyoming, North, South Dakota. It's other stuff. Oh, Idaho. It's other stuff over there.
Like,
I think I know what Washington is.
what would you say the capital of Ohio is?
Cleveland, right?
Columbus?
It's Columbus.
Wow.
Columbus, Ohio.
It is Columbus.
Yeah.
Isn't that where Ohio State is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think Ohio State is in Columbus.
I don't know, bro. But
It makes sense.
before we go to the next question, I saw this on Twitter. Have y'all heard about the thing going on in Nigeria, the police force, the anti-robbery squad?
Yes.
Okay,
I have
so
heard.
for those of you who don't know that are watching, SARS is it's a special anti-robbery squad in Nigeria, and in SARS is a social movement that started on Twitter calling for the banning of that squad because they use oppression and police brutality. The social media campaign using the hashtag #InSARS to demand for Nigeria's government to scrap and end the deployment of Nigeria's police force special anti-robbery squad. Wow, that's a mouthful. Popularly known as SARS. And within the week, this hashtag has reached up to 28 million tweets. This was from the 9th to the 11th, or the weekend, I'm sorry. And this was this past weekend. And Nigerians have shared stories and video evidence of how members of SARS engaged in kidnapping, murder, theft, rape, torture, unlawful arrest, high-handedness, humiliation, unlawful detention, extrajudicial killings, and extortion. SARS officers profile youth largely based on appearance. They mount illegal roadblocks, stop and searches, arrest without warrants. They rape women, extort young Nigerians for driving exotic vehicles and using iPhones. While some claim victory as the Nigerian police force dissolved the SARS October 11th, others noticed similar promises had been made in recent years, and the government planned to reassign SARS other than eliminate them entirely. The government has continued to repress protests with legal force despite this announcement. This is terrible.
Very.
This is
One
terrible.
thing I know, if you look around the world, it's slaughter happening in a lot of places. So, my prayers go out to the people of that nation. But realistically, like myself in this moment, I really can't do much about that. It sucks.
Yeah, of course.
I'm glad that there's awareness being brought to it, because that sucks that it's going on. And, but there's things like that going on in Libya still. There's a slave trade going on in Libya, in Iran. And I think either Bosnia or Armenia, there are Christians being killed by Muslims as we speak. Like there's countries that are having their own squabbles. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Ours, like, isn't. We live in a country where bloodshed is different. Our bloodshed is really, really different. It's amongst factions. It's amongst people who might have grown up in a different part of town. It's if you want to go like with the mafia, it's family orientated. Stuff like that. But overseas, it's a lot different because of the fact that governments are different. And, we are a unique nation, being that our elements aren't along the same vein as those. But, they are elements nonetheless. I feel like we have to help people at home so that way we can help people everywhere else.
My only thing about that when I saw it is I wonder how long it's been going on. And like it's just being brought to our attention because of course, social media. But how long has this been going on to where
a friend of mine who's from Nigeria, he told me like the last time he was there, they like harassed his grandpa. His grandpa's like the toughest person he's ever seen, and like he knows, and like he just threw his phone. When he had an iPhone in his hand, and like they walked up to the car, and he just like threw his phone. So like that was in it said that in the thing that you read that there's been promises made like that in recent years. So it seems like it's been on for a few years.
Right.
So, Americans like to insert themselves into stuff they ain't got no business with anyway. But when stuff like that happens in other countries, do you guys think that it's like the United States or other like actually really established countries' jobs to kind of slide in there to help?
I feel like this type of issue would probably be, on the grand scheme of things, would be minuscule to our government. Like we wouldn't think that was that big of a deal for us to step in.
And even still, Nigeria is a very developed country in itself. Like Nigeria is not third world. So, if we just go in talking about stop harassing your citizens, that's kind of like an act of war. Like you can't just, go into other people's countries telling people like, people can't come over here and tell the police stop doing what you're doing to us because like it's not even a country. Like, you don't even go here, But it's really weird, inter-public relations, stuff like that. But, you would like to see stuff like that be helped, but it's only so much you can do.
All right. I agree.
Well, there's been international protests like in London and Dublin, I think New York.
We had international protests
for
George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and we see what happened there.
That's true. That's true. I feel like history repeats itself. You
over and over.
Nothing new under the sun.
it's it might not be as bad as rape and theft and all of that, but people is
Yeah,
dying here too. So
why?
it's it's kind of sad to see. It's really kind of sad to see, especially when you can't really do anything about it. Like, what I understand people wanting to bring awareness about it, but what is our awareness going to do for those people in Nigeria who have lost loved ones or who have or actually still going through what they're going through? Like, me putting a hashtag on Twitter is not going to help them in any kind of way. I mean, it might get some clicks, whereas to my brother might see it and he's like, "Oh, this is terrible." But I mean, what else? What else?
It can raise awareness to the point where people who have the power and the resources and the finances to assist in that area.
But don't you think those people already know what's going on?
I'll say not all. Anything, those people definitely already know what's going on. People with more money have way more information than we do. So
that doesn't mean that they're aware of everything that's going on. It really doesn't mean that. Some may know, but some may not. And more exposure can get it into the right hands where people can actually, maybe possibly do something. I understand what you're saying. You're nowhere near it. We trying to fight our own battles right here and trying to stay safe over here.
That's a fact.
It's sheer luck that it gets enough. It gets to the right eyes, and you know what I'm saying. And all while that retweet train is happening and that time is being passed, more people are getting killed and raped and pillaged.
Yeah.
And you would like to see something done, but it's hard to do something when you're in a different country.
That's a fact.
Fighting different battles.
That is a fact. Access does not mean they pay attention.
Exactly. A lot of celebrity people, not even just celebrities, a lot of rich people in general are like very self-centered. And the reason why they're rich is because they like holding on to their money and they don't want to like give it away. They don't want to like help others if it's not helping themselves, because that's the type of mentality that leads rich people to becoming Republican. You know what I'm saying? It's like the more money you have, a capitalistic society, like once you start making money in it and you're like, oh, I can make money from a lot of different things, doing a lot, so I will. Once you get to that point, it's like your mind is different because those type of ideals line up with how Republicans think, which is strange, but I don't know enough about Republicans and Democrats to categorize people or even categorize myself. So I just, I have my values. Wherever they fall, they fall. But, that's how it goes.
Do you think facts matter in the age of optics?
In the what?
What?
Like
in the the age of optics? Like
I'm very confused.
Like, so do we still fact check people for the things that they say? Like, because these politicians can get up here and say whatever. They can tuck out the side of their neck and people will take it as the gospel. But are we like, do the facts matter anymore? Like, does
the Bible told me to test all
things? They do.
So
they
whatever
do. They matter.
If it comes into my, if it comes presented to me and I don't immediately do that because I don't care, I'm gonna, look through it and see what's what, and then I'm gonna look at another source, because at the end of the day, it takes two witness accounts to establish truth. And of course, facts matter. Like having the conversation with my father about Breonna Taylor and the verdict. He agreed that justice was not served, but he was saying that people should not be outraged because of the fact that he shot at the police and we were reacting off of information that was false, which was true, but they ended up lying to try to cover that information that was allegedly false. And so, like, there was a lot of confusion in the case to begin with, but they never announced who they were, one. Two, he shot one shot didn't hit anybody. Shot one shot, didn't hit anybody. Third, one officer shot 10 shots, one officer shot 7, another shot 6. I went to the gun range recently. I don't even think I shot that many shots in total.
Yeah,
like
that he shot at the cops first and then fly. When somebody coming into your house that time in the morning and 12 out of 12 people, out of 12 witnesses, 11 said they did not hear anything. One person said that they didn't, that they did, and then changed their story, or either they said they didn't and then they did change their story. How did you turn around and expect somebody to not defend themselves with a bunch of people busting in their house? Break that. You waking them up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, he just got interviewed by Gayle King, didn't he?
Yeah, I watched that whole 7-minute video. And then when they took him to the station, they took the handcuffs off him. You don't take the handcuffs off of somebody who just shot a cop. Not when you get to the station. And it's like, he said that they pulled over on the way and there was an unmarked car that came and the guy in plain clothes was talking to him and he had a completely different tone of voice. He was like, sorry, there's like some sort of misunderstanding going on, trying to let him know. And he didn't even know that Breonna died until it came on the news.
That's crazy.
It's horrible. Mm-mm. That's equivalent to finding out how Kobe died. Not Gigi. What's his wife's name? Vanessa.
And you bring charges against the person that puts the neighbor in danger, but no charges for this woman's life.
Nope. The bullets in the ceiling were more important than Breonna Taylor, obviously.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
He said that an officer asked him if he got shot, and when he said no, he said that's unfortunate.
Wait, what?
He said that an officer asked him, did he get shot? He said no, and the officer said that's unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
So like Andrew was saying earlier, all the more reason to vote, that we put people in place and positions and be like, I don't know, was it Christian Andrew that was saying that the most important elections is not necessarily presidential, but the lower level local officials and stuff like that, your sheriffs, who you put in office in those kind of places. And those are the kind of elections that a lot of times are skipped over, but those decisions matter as well. And a lot of times we're not well versed on who's who, what their stance is, what their platform is, what it is that they're for. And like we said, like even some of our guests online, our family online, because they're not guests, our family online has already said they lie. They're running for office. They come up with all these campaign promises, all of these things that you're hearing.
Where's the wall? Where's the wall? We still ain't got the wall. I don't even want the wall, but the wall is around us, really, because we can't go nowhere.
We can't.
We got rumors still. They like,
you asked that, but I mean, you say that, but that is hilarious because it's been 4 years and I ain't seen not one picture of
not
wall.
one, not a construction site,
started it.
not a trailer,
Let me
not a crane.
There is a portion of the wall. It's built, but like they have to, because at the end of the day, the president can't do that. They can't do anything. It's not up to them to make things
Mexico is gonna build it. He said with Mexico gonna pay for it. He said we're gonna build a wall. And he was just saying stuff. And it's like, I understand why people don't like him, but personally, he's very entertaining to watch because it's like
entertaining. He's a buffoon.
It's obvious he's acting. Obviously, he plays it pretty well. Any man who's a billionaire isn't stupid. Now, he might be an idiot, but he's not stupid. There's a difference.
How do you just feel like he's research to find that? The wall of the wall? The wall
I've seen pictures of the wall.
You might have to drive. You thinking of the wall of China?
No. I said
no, because there's literal videos of like the people in Mexico like finding holes and stuff in the wall and figuring out how to still get past it.
Oh, they gonna find a way.
Yeah.
What is
But
that?
it's
What does
it's
that
not
comment
finished.
mean,
It only goes for like
Demetria?
a mile. It's like a
What does
mile.
that comment mean? A lot of Mexican people take flights. What does that mean?
They
Yeah,
probably taking flights here. Or
I don't know,
going
but if I learned anything from Narcos, you can do a lot with $2,500 in the private jet on an airstrip.
2,500 or 25,000.
1,000.
Oh,
I was about to say they wasn't lowballing like that.
Okay, that's YouTube. Who's that on YouTube saying making comments?
It started.
It started, but it's sinking.
the wall.
I can't see who that is.
All I know,
I say Facebook.
It says Facebook, but it's not on Facebook. That's a YouTube comment.
the government really messed up because Bush was like, holla at y'all, I'm finna head out. This is in shambles, but he's a black guy and just left.
That's exactly what happened.
Smooth, here we go. And the Barack was just like, we're gonna try, but he couldn't do it.
Do you guys think if Trump loses this election, do you think he's gonna run again?
Possibly.
You think they're gonna have to bodily remove him out of the White House?
That's a great question.
Probably.
I have no idea.
I don't think either side is going to be happy with the loss they take. It's going to be worse if Trump loses, but I don't think Biden is really going to like the fact that Trump wins. He's probably going to try and call some sort of Russian tampering again or something like that.
Probably.
But it's going to be some sort of drama following this election all in itself anyway. I don't know what
the Trump supporters are going to react.
Gosh, man,
the Proud Boys, they standing by.
Proud Boys.
Okay.
I'm in Forsyth County. If he loses, I need to leave. Because
I'll be real with you.
I don't need to be here.
I'll be real with you. I paid $500 not to fight anyone, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what happens. We're gonna be all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. Yeah, an airstrip and $25,000. A private jet costs $25,000 just off the flip ski. So I don't know what the price could be.
Where $25,000 from?
Where is who?
The Mexicans. Where are they getting $25,000?
They've probably been saving for like 20 years.
Even still.
Yeah, I don't think Trump will concede if he loses. I think he's going to be like, y'all, nah, what's the name?
He's going to say that he got cheated.
He cheated. All I know is this is going to be weird.
It's going to be.
It's already weird. It's already a comedic show. The world is sitting here with us, just like,
there's one more branch, ain't it? Judicial, legislative, and what's the other one?
Judicial, legislative,
executive. I should have paid attention in social studies.
Executive
is the president.
Yeah.
But you don't do nothing.
That's not true.
You weren't listening to prayer Wednesday night. We prayed about the
Wednesday.
He signed executive orders into power.
Last Wednesday.
Oh. I think there was a game on.
President got some power,
But yeah, I don't think Trump will concede. I think Joe will be like Mitt Romney when he lost. I think he will concede, but it will be at the last minute. I don't know.
Mitt Romney was a Mormon.
He is.
That's all I remember.
Who he lose to?
Everybody. Barack, right?
Oh yeah, Barack.
It was both
Barack times, right? No. Mitt ran, and then there was another guy who ran against Barack.
The old white guy who died.
Yes.
Trump couldn't. Yeah, John McCain.
John McCain. R.I.P. John McCain. But why didn't Barack? No, he was running against Barack.
Yeah.
Why didn't Bernie still run?
Because Bernie ain't never gonna be president.
Bernie
said no more student loans. They said, get him out of here.
Right.
Get him out of here.
Although his ideas are literally amazing, and if he was ever president, I would probably cry tears of joy.
He doesn't only pass the laws; he can sign executive orders into power. So, he can sign the CARES Act in someday. You know what I'm saying? He can sign stuff. So, that pen has power with him. But he does make laws, and they get reviewed. But his other power is that.
I want to know how big Air Force One is. Does every president use the same Air Force One?
Duh.
Oh, I thought they. We got money to give away. So I feel like
Does every president use the same White House, Christian? It ain't a different plane.
But why? My thing is, why do we? Like, if I become president, why do I have to live in this White House? Why can't I don't want people knowing where I'm at.
You don't have to. Donald Trump doesn't live there.
What do you mean you don't want people knowing where you? It doesn't matter. You are the most protected person on the planet. It's not like it matters who knows. You think somebody can just get across that lawn and just, hey.
You seen London is Falling and all them other joints?
Those are movies.
It's a movie.
Those are movies.
Hey, if somebody...
The best chance anybody has that our president is on foreign soil, and nobody's that stupid. Nobody wants to bring the entire force of America plus other nations. What? Because if somebody messes with if somebody messes with us,
Osama.
Honestly,
I don't know. His daughter on
Osama. Where's Osama
That's
now?
not really his daughter.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Yeah, I know
really
that was fake.
Oh,
that was so.
Think about it. Osama would have like 80 children, dog.
He got mad kids.
She would be like one of 73.
Somebody.
And she wouldn't be over in the U.S. just tweeting so casually about it.
Somebody screenshotted the Wikipedia joint while his kids are like, child, which one is you?
Exactly. It's like he's like Genghis Khan. They say one out of like 5 one out of every like 4 women or like 5 men have genes of Genghis Khan because that's how many women he was.
Oh, he was out here?
Boy, he conquered nations.
He was out.
Boy, he conquered nations, dog.
Yep.
He had a shorty from every nation.
Yes, literally.
Probably had a group of
yes.
He was like what's her face's dad? Guardians of the Galaxy 2. What's the guy? Quill's dad. He was like Quill's dad. Every planet.
I have a question for y'all.
What's up?
Yeah.
Are y'all planning on voting? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
I am.
Because I'm not prepared to stand hours to wait.
Wait, what you say, Droops? Start all over, please. What's your answer?
I said no. And 1, because I'm not prepared hours to wait. And 2, because I don't know enough to vote yet. Like, I still am very ignorant about politics. And I've kind of chosen to be ignorant up until this point. But now that I'm old enough to, like, really vote and do stuff, I kind of want to, make the effort, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make sure I know what I'm doing, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want
to. You got time to learn about the candidates.
You're right, but I know enough to know I'm not voting for either of them, and I probably wouldn't vote for other people because it wouldn't make sense because they're not even going to be considered.
Who's third party
next?
Who's the third party?
Christian.
I want to vote. Are voting things open on Saturdays? Because I work Monday through Friday, 7 to 4, and by the time I get to the polls, the line will probably be wrapped around the building twice. So,
there are no polling places open on Saturdays.
See, that's voter suppression.
Yeah, but listen,
there are no.
You can do
voter suppression.
You can vote early. You can vote paper ballot if you have to.
How I do that?
You go online and you request a paper ballot.
Them the ones that get lost
mailed to you, and
they're gonna cheat though.
They're not going in the mail.
They're not going. I know the president uses a mail-in vote, but his vote probably don't get counted either. So I mean,
that's why I want to do mine in person.
Yeah,
you can fill out the paper one, and then just go up there and drop it off, and then you really don't even have to wait in line to vote.
Ain't there a game?
That's what I did. I just filled it out on the paper and then dropped it off physically instead of putting it back in the mail.
I might do that. So yeah.
Okay, so your mom is saying, good question that I asked y'all, and she said,
Mom, you vote for me?
She said, educate yourself.
Can she go?
No excuses.
Can she go drop off my vote? Like
Jackie said, they open on Saturdays on Jackie and Rockdale.
Oh, it's lit. It'll probably be more packed on Saturday.
Yeah,
Or
good.
look it up online. Anything that you want to know, look up online. Don't just sit back and let this pass you by. We're talking about this being one of the big. Actually, we're gonna come to you. We're talking about this being one of the biggest voting elections. Don't let your and then don't think that your voice doesn't matter. It does. It does
Well,
matter. It
I
does
mean, the
matter.
presidential election that
I
y'all
was
talking
about to make a joke, but I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, so your mom is saying, please exercise your rights.
I do. I
She said,
exercise my
check your
right
county.
to bear arms.
I knew you would say that. I felt it in my bones. Ugly.
You know what? Go ahead, Ashton. Yeah, I can't with y'all. I can't with y'all. What's
Yeah,
your,
I voted because I don't need Trump again.
you already voted? You did early voting?
They already voted.
So I have
Yes.
a question. I have a question. If you guys can recall,
Ashton has
2016,
voted.
when you went to sleep the night before Trump was elected, and then you woke up the next morning and Trump was elected, how did your life change at all? If
I was
any?
up.
I was Andrew. I remember texting you about the election like all night.
Yeah, we was.
And
we
it was
both.
just like, what?
We was like, I was just like, it's about to happen.
Yeah, it was just like, well, I can't do nothing about it now.
I think it was a weekday because I had class the next morning, which is why I went to sleep early. And when I woke up the next day, I had just had it in my mind like, yo, Hillary won, is lit. And then I see across my TV, Donald Trump is the president. And I just had to let out a laugh like, yo, they really voted this man into office. But the reason I asked that question is because like I was in college, so my life really didn't change at all, if any. I mean, I really didn't notice any change in the I mean, there wasn't going to be in the any change that first year. I feel like, you know, he got to get in there, get his feet wet a little bit. But the reason I asked that question is if Trump wins or if Biden wins, what do you guys think will be like that
Different?
feeling? Yeah, what would be the difference?
Personally,
It's a good question.
I say personally a lot.
That's off the dome too.
Hold on. Wait. Before we go to that question, Jackie Williams said that on the list that she looked at, it said that the voting polls were open Saturday and Sunday in Rockdale. So I would okay. I would suggest that you look up and go to the voter registration site. Look up the places to vote, the early voting polls, because early voting is going on. Look them up and try to find out what is open, if something is open on the weekend. Thank you for the information, Jackie. I had no idea. If they're open in Rockdale, then they probably have places open in other areas. I thought it was just
voting for mad people too? Like you got to vote for the president, the senator, and all those people too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I got to do my Google.
That's why it's so.
That's why you got to do some research. You got to do some research.
The other stuff is in the 4 years.
I got to do my Googles.
Yeah, you got to look up some of the stuff that these people are standing for. When I voted in the last election, believe me, I was Googling everybody because I didn't know what happened. People, I didn't know who they was, what they were standing for. I was looking them up.
I learned this from what's Kerry Washington show Scandal. You got to find they dirt because you know every politician got some dirt that they got to try to cover up, and it's gonna get out. So you gotta Lenore Park. Oh, okay. So you gotta I'm gonna Google and see if they got some dirt. Whoever got the worst dirt, I'm voting for them. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So yeah, back to that question.
That's hilarious. I did not see that coming.
Oh man, I'm crying. Okay, yeah. So back to the question, guys.
What was the question? What's gonna be like the difference? If
Yeah,
one or the other. I remember having a conversation with my friend, and I was just like, you know what? I've never like walked outside at any point in time in my life. I've lived for how many years? 24 years now. If that's divided by 4, that's 6 presidents. It's 6 presidents. So I have not walked outside of my house at any point in time in my life and was just like, oh, like felt a tangible difference. Like never ran into some sort of obstacle trying to do something. Never tried like as far as like applications or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like because this president is in, I can't do this or I can do this, something like that. You know, it hasn't really been that much of a difference. So like it ain't much. I feel like it's not much is gonna change except for those things that were kind of already changing in the background that change because it's designed for the fact that once the next president steps in, he can undo whatever the president before him did, and that's why it's designed the way it is. Yeah. So not much will change except however they decide to use him is just how he gets used. So there it is.
I pretty much feel the same way. Like I've had talks with my friends about like since Trump was president, what changed in my life personally. And I can't say that my life was worse besides the fact that I just don't like who he is as a human being. Right. I think the only thing that would change is like the intangible emotional part of it and having the satisfaction of saying Donald Trump is no longer our president. But like, that's not going to do that for me at the same time. I don't want him to be president again, but I'm not anticipating my life being like detrimental, like the worst in the gutter if he is president again.
Right.
Do you guys pay attention to like when you're driving and stuff and you see those Trump Pence signs? Like, do you automatically think those people is racist?
Yes, they are racist.
Because of the area I'm in.
I be having to repent because I be like, dang, they don't like black people. I don't like them, but I don't even know them, so it's like
I don't think no ways about it. I can't even judge them. I haven't even seen them. I don't even know what they look like. They probably.
I just know they racist.
Yeah, all I know is that they have a Trump Mike Pence, but
I just feel like they're the Proud Boys that Trump was talking about.
Yeah, I don't see. That's the thing. I don't listen to either of them. I don't know what they say because it's better that way. It's just a lot better.
That debate was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I watched enough.
He was a big old bully in that debate. He was a bully.
Yo, he was throwing hate, talking about Joe's kid. Like, yo, you can't be bringing up the kids, my guy. I know Joe.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Joe kind of folded. It was horrible. Like, he should have said something about his kids. His kids are ugly. Like,
I seen the
child looked like he did drugs.
I seen. You right, man. We can't make judgments. You right.
Is that a judgment?
It's an
observation. I'm looking at the sign. I'm not making judgments about them. I'm just looking at the sign. So I know one thing.
Well, I am because I'm assuming that because they have that sign that they're racist.
I mean, it's. I'm not gonna say I don't assume.
You do correlate very.
I'm not going to say I do.
So.
It's like
have one thing without the other.
Because it's like I could tell y'all I like a certain type of music, and you could kind of tell what kind of person I am, but you know what I'm saying, by the type of music that I listen to and that I like, because they support a racist and a bigot and a rapist,
Yeah, all I know is a lot of people out here in this world are sadly misinformed, and they have been living their life because they have been misinformed. There are white people out there that believe that black people go to college for free because their parents told them that and their grandparents told them that. So, there's ignorance all over the place. So who knows why they have that?
There's people that didn't know that Trump mailed in his vote.
Of course. I'm sure there's people that don't even know Trump was somebody else before he was the president.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who don't
know. We got a big somebody want to read this?
As a parent, I'm more worried than ever when I'm dealing with Trump because I have to worry about my son's friend.
No, I think that's a common. My son's, my friend's son.
By black people being shot by police and nothing happening because Trump has made a couple of police officers do as they will. All of the sheets are coming out. That is true.
Are you saying that you like have to worry about it or it happened? Because if it happened,
she's more worried. This is Jackie.
Oh, she's more worried. Well, personally, I don't think you should be any more worried than you should have been with Barack. There was a lot of people who died under Barack. Was Trayvon Martin not under Barack, if I'm not mistaken?
Trayvon was under Barack.
So like one of the
Mike
biggest
Brown was under
Mike
Barack.
Brown, like the two biggest names in the movement. You know what I'm saying? Like
Freddie Gray.
Exactly. Like those types of things we shouldn't.
Tamir Rice.
All right. You can go all day. I know we don't want to. We're not. We do. That's a whole nother episode that we done already did 6 times. But but yeah, those types of things. It's unfortunate that they happen, but we have to understand that it's not like because of one person. A lot of people are being incited, yes, but I would say a lot more police officers are being careful because they understand what's going on. Like I got pulled over once in an area. I got pulled over once in an area with 2 bald head, the palest cops you could ever see in your life. And I wasn't, what I'm saying? I did what my father told me to do. I was respectful. All I knew was what he was telling me wasn't true. I had insurance. He said I didn't. He showed me it didn't show up in the system, whatever. He was supposed to take me to jail, but he didn't. He took the car, which still sucks. And when I go down there in court on November 23rd, I'm going to show them the paper that my father gave me. And it's like, you see this date? It says I had insurance. Now give me the $200 do that.
Hey, what's the score?
3-up.
Oh, okay. So before we get out of here, my last question.
You know what? You ain't no good.
Y'all seen the Ice Cube joint? So Ice Cube is under fire after a senior advisor to Donald Trump revealed this week that the rapper has been collaborating with the president on his promise to Black America. Now, as Black Ash Brews, he says CNN canceled his upcoming appearance on Kumo Primetime, but Ice Cube insists his loyalty is solely to the Black community. In July, he released his contract with Black America to advocate for police reform, affirmative action in the education system, abolition of private prisons, decriminalizations of marijuana, and elimination of moratorium minimum sentences, among other proposals. On Wednesday and Thursday, Ice Cube, who has long been a vocal critic of Trump, defended his decision to work with the White House, arguing that Black progress is a bipartisan issue and talking truth to power is a part of the process. He tweeted, he put out the contract with Black America. Both parties contacted him. The Democrats said they'll address it after the election, and the Trump campaign made some adjustments to their plan after talking to him about it. His remarks came a day after Katrina Pearson, who is a Trump advisor, thanked him for his willingness to step up and work with Donald Trump to develop a platinum plan, and added, "Leaders gonna lead, haters gonna hate." You can tell I tweeted that because that.
First of all, who else he's supposed to talk to? He's the president. It's only one president. Who else is he going to talk to? This is why sometimes Black people are kind of.
This is what I was talking about earlier. Like, how can you be mad at him?
First of all,
you can't be mad at him for that.
The problem comes with the fact that people just hate Trump. Like, whenever you hate a person, it doesn't matter. Why are you talking, bruh? Shut up. You right now have issues that you have to work out because you hate this man, regardless of what he has said, regardless of what he has done. He is what he is, and I'm not affected by that. I don't hate him. I don't feel no ways about him. I don't respect anything he does or say, but that has nothing to do with how I feel. People like push their emotions to the front and then see through that. Like you can't look at somebody through the lens of hate, because how is anything gonna get done? Ice Cube is really right. The reason why there is no Black progress is because there is nobody that is talking to people in power. Because the people who are in power are the ones who don't realize, oh yeah, these are people. They all think of us the same way they thought of us when we came over here. So like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Just sit amongst ourselves and let it keep happening? No, we trying to change something. We got to do something, and we got to talk to somebody. Because obviously talking to each other ain't working.
Exactly. I feel like this is the problem with Black people. Like we shout all of these things that we want, equality, this, that, and the third, and then we have a prominent figure in our culture, Ice Cube, who proposes a plan, puts it
I
out
grew up
there.
in the 80s in Compton.
Exactly, puts it out there for both of the parties to see. The Democrats was like, yeah, we'll get back to you on that. But Trump's administration was like, maybe we could do something with this. To me, Trump administration is smart because if if they implement some things now, maybe they could try probably sway the black vote to vote for him again. I mean, I don't know. But I would think that as a Democratic Party, wouldn't you want to pick this up and kind of run with it and just use it, if anything, as
A propellant?
yes, use it as something that will, because when Joe was given shrimp and grits or whatever he was giving to them people, like I didn't like how you know they wanted shrimp and grits, Joe.
I swear, I have never ate shrimp in my grits.
I have, it's good, but
I
how
have
did you know that they
one time.
wanted that?
Actually, I did one time. The one time Miss Angel took us to that little brunch spot, wherever we was. That was the first time I ever had it. Now, if somebody
That
just
spot
shows
was
up with
delicious,
it,
by the way.
assuming that I want that, I'm gonna be highly upset. Because how do you know I want seafood this early in the morning, sir? How do you know that? Grits, I'm fine with, but how do you know this is the choice meat that I want? If he showed up with some bacon, that would be different. That's general breakfast. Everybody eat bacon, grits, eggs. Everybody eat that. But shrimp and grits is just like, like fried chicken and collard greens. It's a staple amongst a community. So don't do that. Don't just show up what you think I want to eat, bruh. This is not freaking Golden Corral. Don't do that to me.
We might have wanted some omelets and some crepes and
I would
anything but shrimp and grits, Joe.
Yeah, like just regular. Just regular.
You just assume that they
some fruit in a bowl. Like regular normal people.
I agree with him though. Our justice is bipartisan.
I agree with all the stuff you guys said. I don't understand. When I looked more into it and saw why they were hating on him, I thought it was stupid. Because I understand you just can't let your emotions towards this one person bypass the logical side of it. Because just like Andrew said, was he just supposed to just not say anything? We're just not supposed to try to convince him to help us or propose different plans that can advance our communities. We're supposed to sit here for 4 years and let him do whatever and help all the other people make more money, but we just stay in the same place? Like, no, I don't get it. I don't know why people are so mad.
Right. Or at least gauge, how they feel about it. If they're actually engaging, actually trying to figure out what it is that they can do to help, that's the biggest thing in the world. And now, you know what it is that necessarily you might have to do on your part, talking to other people, talking to, getting people on board to back, to show them, that we're serious about it too. So it's like, this is a two-way street. Sacrifices have been made. It's like, I think people are still trying to think in the survival aspect. No, I saw a commercial about some senator talking about he doesn't support defunding the police, but we do need a new civil rights act. I was like, what? No, we don't. We don't need a new civil rights act to include everyone. The one we made should have included everyone. So right now, all we need to do is include everyone. That's all we need to do. And that's all we need to figure out how to do as a community. Make sure they understand we're not less, we are the same. So just treat us that way. That's all everybody wants.
Facts.
A lot of y'all got a head start and y'all don't realize that. Like, the reason why a lot of Black people have to pull themselves up, and it's like out of the community, we have isolated, things. Of course, there's a lot of athletes that are, amongst the masses of Black and majority of sports, but that's, I've heard all my life, making it to the NFL is a 1 in a million chance. And I know 5, 6 people that I saw across from me on the field before playing in the league. So, I don't know how many million people are in Gwinnett County, but they beat the odds. So like at some point, you know what I'm saying? All it is teaching people what it is they're good at, because they're good at football and they're still playing it. A friend of mine is playing basketball overseas, never stopped. He's in Italy right now. The way I see it, that's one step away from the big leagues. So like, if they all knew what they were good at, just imagine what some kid who figures out how to engineer a computer out of random parts in his house could do. You know, if they have those type of resources, they had a gym and they had a field. But the other kids, what do they have? They don't have that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we need to focus on. Figuring out how to cultivate us as a community, because we are those things. 10 times over.
How long you said that video was?
The
what's Beyonce Taylor boyfriend name?
I don't remember, but it was like 8 or 9 minutes.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
That's what the one I saw on Twitter was like 8 or 9 minutes. It might have been just a clip, but he explained like the majority of the situation.
Okay.
Well, if nobody has anything else, Auntie, you can do the outro.
I want y'all to go educate yourselves. Okay. I want you to go educate yourself. I want you to find out about some of the places that you can try to get to, that so that you can be able to vote. I don't want you to use any excuses to not vote, even if you feel like your vote doesn't matter. This is the time to make your voice heard. So, and saying that, I want to thank our audience, our family, for joining us tonight and for dropping some information in the feed with us and for engaging as always. We ask that you continue to share this broadcast, do a watch party, share it with somebody who might need to hear what was discussed tonight. Yes, the young people are interested in finding out what's happening in their country right now as far as politics is concerned, because it trickles down, whether you believe it or not. Eventually it trickles down. So let's put ourselves in the position to be able to have a say and to be able to try to at least put our voice. This is another way. Youth Speak Out podcast is a platform to give our youth a voice, an expressive voice on any issue that they want to talk about. And that includes what's going on in their country. So I want to thank them for their views tonight. And I want to ask each one of you guys, I usually go last in saying who I am. And since I have the floor right now, I'm just going to say, follow me, Amber Lyons, on all social media, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can follow this podcast, Youth Speak Out Podcast, on Instagram at YSO Podcast, on Twitter at YSO_podcast. Please follow, connect, and subscribe to our From Pain to Purpose, Inc. YouTube channel. That's where you find all the podcasts. And follow our Healing Pain Through the Arts Facebook group. And you can connect with us at www.FromPainToPurpose.net, www.FromPainToPurpose.net. And I'm going to turn it over to the rest of the team. We want to acknowledge once again Emmanuel, aka St. Even, who's not here tonight due to other obligations. We want to thank him, and you can follow him at St. Even, the Even Saint, on Instagram. You can follow him on Facebook at Emmanuel Lyons or St. Even. You can follow him everywhere as St. Even, and also check out his songs that's streaming on all digital platforms. There's 3 songs streaming and a ton of songs on SoundCloud, but check out his music, and follow him on Lyons. I believe it's Lyons _ Emmanuel, or Lyons.Emmanuel.s on Instagram as well. So I'm going to kick it off to the rest of the team to tell you where you can follow them, and please follow them. Check them out. Let's support these young people, and we thank you for your support. We're going to let the team give their handles, and then we're going to close out this episode.
Dang.
Go ahead, Ashton.
Okay. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ashton Gates with 2 S's on the end.
Okay.
You guys can follow me at _skip to my shoes. Add me on Facebook at Andrew Buckmeyer. I don't really get on Facebook, so yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram at _CB03 and on Twitter at Coach_Buck03. Facebook at Christian Buckmeyer. Follow your boy.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. Be safe. Have a good night. And don't forget, rock the vote.
FYP Production.
She fell in love with the bad guy, but she loves my intentions. And nothing feels better than the moment we're sinning. No, nothing feels better than the moment we're kissing. I'll say I'll love her for forever, in the morning forget her. She was raised under money, growing up she couldn't see the poor. Save my number in her phone under me or more. Look me in my eyes and ask what I need her for. Told her in this game of life she just might keep a score. Darkness is clouding my judgment. Marijuana clouds cause the loud is so pungent. But me, I haven't touched a drug since that Trader White. I live my life before the fight like I'm Dana White. The block is hot like that boy band with Nick Lachey. Hold my heart in your hands like a Fabergé. Precious. We was young, dumb, and reckless. Living like the devil couldn't catch us.
Our